All right, this is the Adventures of Alcaraz podcast. I'm Julian Alcaraz.
And I'm Miranda Alcaraz. This is the pregnancy edition of the podcast, week 8 to 9. I'm 9 weeks pregnant now, so week 8 to 9 is what we're on.
Yes.
And here we are. We're back from Hawaii, and I feel like we're not really back into like any sort of flow. We've been back for like 4 days, but
There's no flow. The team, everybody's still trickling in from the extension of their stay.
Yeah, when you like get back from a trip that long in the middle of the week, it's like weird.
It's really odd.
Yeah, so hopefully tomorrow, we're recording this on a Sunday, so hopefully tomorrow, Monday, will be, at least you guys will have some sort of flow. I don't know what's going to happen to me because this week of all, maybe not this entire week, but the last like few days for sure, it started with 3 or 4 nights ago, I didn't sleep at all. And I know that insomnia can be a symptom of pregnancy. I don't think I really had that before with Knox. And it only has really happened one night, maybe like a little bit on another night, but I didn't sleep at all that night. It was like 3 or 4 nights ago. And since then, plus with the travel, this week has been really bad, like so tired.
You've been taking extra naps, which is really good. I mean, I feel like you have had very low energy this time around, like the last couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, in general, and I've said it before, I'm not really a napper, usually because my to-do list is just so long that I have a really hard time relaxing and just like letting go of that so that I can go to sleep. But I've had to. I took a nap today. I think was it yesterday or the day before? I took a like 2-hour nap in the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. And I knock out hard, like no problem falling asleep. I could sleep all day long and still be exhausted, and it's been like that for at least, I know it was like that a little bit in Hawaii too. I was struggling, but since we've been home, it's been really bad.
I feel like for the next couple of weeks, that might have to be something you just accept, which is like around 2 o'clock, go take like a couple-hour nap, wake up, hit your workout, because you work late in the evening anyway. Mm-hmm. So why not like allow your body to rest as opposed to just draining it? I fully support that. What do you think about that?
I don't know. It's just hard because I feel unproductive, I guess, when I do that. Because it's like we wake up with Knox, and then usually we'll have him with us till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then if I take a nap at noon, I feel like I only get like an hour or 2 of work in, actually, by the time I get dressed and ready and everything. Mm-hmm. It just like breaks up the day, and then we're trying to work out, and then we got to put him to bed, and then, so it's just, I feel very unproductive when I do anything like that in the middle of the daytime.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that it would be great and it would be super helpful, but we'll see.
We'll see. Just because I also know that you've been mentioning that you just get brain fog, and then you get really frustrated. Mm-hmm. And then when you get frustrated, then you get, that leads to like being angry at yourself, which is also like counterproductive, right? So that's why I think a lot of women go through that, it seems like, especially like this tiredness phase. Because I remember last time, same thing, it's only this like next couple week phase, and then eventually you'll start feeling like yourself again. Mm-hmm. But I think right now, because remember I made a comment yesterday how the baby is going from raspberry, and then the next couple weeks is going to be the size of a
raspberry to strawberry,
and then cherry or something.
The sizes that the bump app
like a cherry to a whatever.
It goes from right now it's a cherry, and then it goes to strawberry, and then it goes from strawberry to lime, which seems like a really big jump.
Yeah, so definitely naps. I feel like.
What kind of lime are we talking about here?
Like a GMO lime, like a organic lime,
like a Target Kroger's lime, or like a Costco lime.
Yeah. But how did the run feel for you? I know you switched and didn't do the 10K. This was the first year you did the 5K. And what kind of approach did you take this time?
So for the run, every year I've done the 10K, and it's awesome, but it's grueling and it's really long. Last year the trail was so slippery that we were out there for like 6 hours. I know that's hard to believe, but it was like crawling the whole time. So this year I was like, I can't be gone for 6 hours with no food and water, because we were so far behind that the water stations were like dry. So I chose to do the 5K. I also made a decision that was kind of selfish, which I think when you're pregnant you can make selfish decisions, where I wasn't going to try to stay with anybody, and I wasn't going to wait for anybody. Because last year, one of the reasons that we were out there for so long is because we were trying to stay together as a group. and keeping the group together was just slower. So I had one person that was running with me, Katie, who works with us, who was like filming it, and we just stayed together. And I felt great, actually, for the most part. I actually do not feel that bad when I'm in the middle of like a workout or something. It's like getting going into it or after that I feel terrible. But on the run, we ran most of it. It was hot. Mm-hmm. It was really, really hot. So I made sure to like get 2 waters at every water station. It's because they were just like the little water bottles. I would get 2 at every water station and take one with me. You packed me snacks, which I didn't end up eating because we were only gone for like an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as the previous years. Yeah.
And then, so we felt good. It was fun. And then afterwards, I had like right before the end, there was like that massive slide, like a super steep slide. And I was like, right before we left, my dad, who my parents were watching Knox, he was like, make sure you don't slip and fall, like, and land weird on your belly or, like, whatever. And I'm just like, last year, that would have been, like, a real problem, actually. Yeah. That would have been really scary. So that wasn't like that until the slide at the very end. I was like, I'm going to, like, hit this lip weird, and I'm going to hit my belly, or I'm going to do something. Like, I was really scared to go down it, to be honest. So I kind of went down the side. But then after we were done, I had, like, a moment, because one of my favorite memories with Knox is I did like a lot of cool adventures while he was in my belly. So knowing that the baby was in my belly, telling it in my mind in that moment, it was a girl. So I was telling her good job, but nice. That definitely keeps switching back and forth.
Right.
Yeah. So the run was good. And then we went on your birthday helicopter ride the next day.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Which I was nervous about if I was going to get sick.
Yeah, you didn't.
No, you got more sick than I did.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
just a little bit.
A little bit,
I didn't
for sure.
Get sick at all.
Got like
totally fine.
It's the same sickness I get when I go on the Mickey Mouse Ferris wheel at California Adventure. It's like, ugh.
Do you have a sickness for heights?
I don't know what it is. It's like the motion. I don't know. It's really strange. It's just recently started happening, but we've noticed that Knox has been like super clinkster to you recently.
Just now when we were trying to come here, he was super clinkster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I actually like Googled that. Like, can your toddler tell that you're pregnant? Because I mean, we've told him, but I don't know that he really grasps what that means, like an older kid would. But he's definitely, and he's not really been like that with me. Like, there's been a couple times where he won't go to your mom, who he always wants to go to, because he wants me. And then, he's been really snuggly and really wanting mama more than normal, which is super sweet. But also, you wonder like if it's associated.
We got lucky that he kind of bounced back into his sleep routine pretty well. At least the last couple of days, he's been doing awesome. First night, I mean, he's actually, bounced back pretty well.
Yeah, the sleep in Hawaii wasn't good.
No, it was horrible.
It was really bad, especially the last few nights.
Yeah.
He didn't sleep well at all.
It was just such a random time jump for him that we were trying. They just don't get it. And so for us, it just kind of knocks us up.
He knew we were in the room, so he was like, snuggle, mama.
Yeah.
And then we would just end up with him kicking us all night long.
We had our doctor's appointment on Friday.
Yeah, we did. And I wasn't looking forward to the doctor's appointment because I typically end up feeling frustrated with the lack of information or feeling frustrated with just how they're a lot of times doctors, because they see patients all day long, that the sensitivity for that this situation is special and unique to me, like sometimes just doesn't exist with doctors, I feel. But our doctor here is cool, and she took time with us and really talked to us, and I thought it was great. Yeah, she. So, I mean, we didn't get a lot of information out of it. She told us that the ultrasound looked fine.
Yeah.
And that all of my blood work was, like, good to go and fine. I am a little, like, concerned, and I don't love that we don't have another ultrasound for, like, 3 months.
It's so wild. We'll have to look into
How do you know if it's all still going on in there?
Yeah.
I almost was going to call them and ask them if I could do, like, an elective one where I know we'd have to pay for it. But
right.
I know for sure we got more ultrasounds than that when I was pregnant with Knox.
Absolutely. It was like once a month.
Yes.
It was once a month.
Yes. So I don't know if that's like a California versus
we'll look into
Washington thing.
We'll look into that.
Or just that hospital maybe. But yeah, that's a little unnerving to me because I feel like I want to see that everything's going okay in there.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel about it?
Same thing. I mean, I think it's just a matter of looking into that. So I'll probably end up making some calls this week to some of the other clinics that we're with and just bringing up the fact that, like last time, they said that you were at risk or a high risk because of your age. So there's no reason why we couldn't say that again. And
I know, I'm 3 years older this
yeah,
time.
so it's a little strange, but I felt good about it. I mean, again, I get excited when we get to see the ultrasound and see that whole process because still you're the one going through the changes right now. And I mean, for us, we still don't feel anything. It's just more of like the support.
I know that you said that you feel like you're going to feel a lot more connected to the baby when you know if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Just because, you can start really processing what's to come a little bit more.
What do you feel like it is?
A boy.
That's because you wanted to be a boy.
No, like I'm okay with whatever, but I don't know why. I feel like it's a boy. If it's a boy, it's not going to surprise me. It's going to be exciting. If it's a girl, it's going to surprise me, and I'll still be excited. But
Knox thinks it's a girl.
Yeah.
When we asked Knox, we asked him 3 specific questions. We said, amigo or amiga? And he said, amiga. And we said, hermano or hermana? And he said, hermana. Mm-hmm. And then, niño or niña? And he said, niña.
Yeah.
And then yesterday he said, want amiga.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
He's funny. He does this stuff now where he'll kiss my belly.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to feed it an apple the other day. He'll feed it his coconut water. He'll put the coconut water up to the belly. And then this morning when he was saying, or maybe it was last night when he was saying want amiga, he talked to it. He looked at it and he was like, come out, amiga.
It's pretty funny.
He high fives it and stuff. It's really funny. But then sometimes I think he gets annoyed when I talk about it. So I try to not talk about it too much. But
how do you feel like your eating's been? I know last night you were crushing, you hadn't had enough to eat just because, again, the weirdness of the schedule, and then you ended up crushing some toast with almond butter. How do you feel about your eating?
Yeah, the eating. So, I mean, compared to how I normally eat, I've been eating some food more regularly that I wouldn't normally have. I know on Tuesday last week, we went and got the burger, and I ate a burger and fries. And then I think it was on Friday we had pizza, which normally those 2 things wouldn't happen so close together for me. And then yesterday what happened was I completely missed an entire meal because our schedule was weird. And I ate lunch at 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. And then I was so tired that I was already up in bed at 8:30, and I just couldn't even think about eating another full rice and turkey and veggies meal.
Yeah.
So I had you make me a peanut butter and blueberry and banana sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And it was delicious. I did not wake up hungry, which was good.
Nice.
Yeah, but I would say in general, again, my eating's very similar to how it was before, but a little bit more leeway with that kind of stuff. I still haven't had a lot of desserts or anything.
No, you haven't had really crazy cravings. I had something out of the norm.
One symptom that did pop up while we were in Hawaii, and luckily it was only for 2 days and it hasn't come back yet, was I had really bad heartburn in Hawaii for 2 days.
That's right.
One of the days was the day that I did have a piece of your birthday cake, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it because I don't usually eat that much sugar.
I think it definitely was the shrimp ceviche, mostly because of the citric acid that comes into the lime.
Lime juice
it's just so. I think that's.
And I had that for 2 days, and I had heartburn really bad with Knox, but it was later, so I was worried that it was going to start and continue the whole time because that was a really hard thing with the pregnancy with Knox, and luckily it was only for 2 days while we were there, and then it kind of went away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're heading into week 10. And then I know we're going to opt into find out the gender in the next couple weeks. So we'll know by 3 weeks.
Yeah. So you can technically get this NIPT blood test. Whether or not your insurance covers it depends on some factors, what insurance you have, how old you are, and that kind of thing. Because I'm older, they should cover it for us, but we'll get it regardless. And they'll do testing for some genetic issues. I'm not going to name the issues because I'll probably say it wrong, but they test for Down syndrome and some other things. But you can also get a super early gender test that's way more accurate than the ultrasound where they're guessing if they see a little penis or whatever.
Yeah.
This is they know for sure if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
And you can technically do it at 10 weeks, which would be in less than a week, but the doctor recommended that just in case they're off a little bit on their calculations of your due date to wait till 11 weeks. I'll probably go at 10 and a half.
Yeah.
So so we'll go do it, but then it could take up to 10 days after that to get the results. So try not to get too excited because it could still be like a month before we know.
I know. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I would say the only other thing, because I started writing down stuff to talk about on the podcast because you get so foggy and we're so busy that the weeks get so long and I forget the stuff that I want to talk about. The other thing that I wrote down is we had some awesome and amazing photos taken of us while we were on this trip, and I just look at all of them and I'm like, I look tired, and that kind of sucks. But when I'm not pregnant anymore and when the baby's here, I'm going to look at those and be like, oh man, I'm still going to think I look tired, but it's going to be like a cool memory of, yeah, I was pregnant and I was so wrecked, and it'll be part of the story. Right now it's just annoying because I feel like I just look tired.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Well, great. I think that summarizes this past week.
I think so.
We will check in with you guys next week. So thank you for listening to the Adventures of Alcaraz podcast. I'm Julian Alcaraz.
I'm Miranda Alcaraz, and we'll see you next time.